It is bittersweet to give this speech before you all today. Predictably, I'm honored to receive the 2016 Princeton Prize for Race Relations, and I feel truly blessed to be here. However, I stand before you today with a heavy heart, knowing how much work lies ahead of us if we are serious about ensuring social, political, legal, and economic equality for all. Furthermore, it's hard to feel deserving of such an award when a quick look at my Twitter feed gives me a multifaceted insight into the reality of being a person of color in today's world. One not need look far to come across the same familiar stories of the tragic deaths of Michael Brown, Sandra Bland, Eric Garner, Tamir Rice, and so many others. We live in a macrocosm that has so much love to give, but that appears to too often be clouded with hatred of those who seek to maintain their privilege by subjugating others. I reject the notion that stereotypes, divisions, and racism are inherent parts of the human condition. And I assert that there are actionable steps that we can and should take to ultimately embrace in our humanity. My activism is rooted in my belief that all injustices are one injustice. We can't fight racism without talking about socioeconomic inequality, without talking about sexism, without talking about the history of colonialism that we can't quite seem to escape. Even when looking at just racism, we will not have efficacy in our endeavors if we don't look at the whole picture. No child, whether they be black, white, Hispanic, East Asian, or South Asian like me, should ever for one moment feel lesser than because of the color of their skin. When I look around the world, or even when I look around this room, I see a beautiful diversity of races, sexual orientations, and whatnot. But most importantly, I see a room full of beating hearts with so much goodness to impart upon this world. I'm as much disturbed as I am fascinated by closely examining the current state of affairs in this country in regards to race relations. But I'm so much more concerned with talking about what we can actively do to better our tomorrow. There is no doubt that it is an uphill battle to dismantle the systems of inequity that have hindered so much of our population for so long. But there is no doubt that it is not only worth it, but that it is necessary. I don't want to bore you too much with talking about myself, but I suppose it is pertinent to why I stand before you today. My name is Ziad Ahmed. I'm a 17-year-old Princeton Day School junior, American Muslim, Bangladeshi, nonconformist, passionate, inquisitive, outspoken, and unmistakably unusual individual. We all identify in so many different ways, but we live in a world that is so quick to judge us without knowing us, and I seek to change that. I grew up in a household where I always knew it was my duty to initiate a positive change in this world. And when I saw how many people were being limited because of society's perception of who they were, I knew I could and had to do something. And so was the start of Redefy. Redefy is an international teen organization committed to defying stereotypes, redefining perspectives positively, embracing acceptance and tolerance, and creating an active community. Our mission for 2015 was to specifically reduce racial prejudice and hate within our community. I founded the organization at the end of 8th grade with a nebulous idea of fighting injustice, and we have since blossomed to a team of over 150 team members from 10 different countries, to amass over 2,000 likes on Facebook and nearly 50,000 hits on our website. Just a few months back, I stood in this very building, the Carlisle Field Center, and hosted the Generation of Now conference that featured 12 civil rights leaders of our time to discuss the imperative nature of racial justice to a crowd of over 200 people. Redefy has over 10 branches, including journalism, social media, event planning, advocacy campaigns, and etc. And we work creatively to further our mission. It's hard to concisely speak about our efforts because they're quite expansive by nature, ranging from over 50 students sharing their stories on our website, to our team conversation series at the local library, to our workshops at local schools, to our international campaigns, to our YouTube videos. We really do try to engage our audience in as many ways as possible, to disseminate meaningful information that challenges society constructively. We've had immense success in our pursuits, drawing acclaim from PBS, MTV, and as aforementioned, President Barack Obama himself. And we look forward to expanding our efforts even further. The future often looks bleak, when we look at the situation that happened at PDS, at a PHS party just a week ago with the alcohol Holocaust incident, when we look at black bodies being left on pavement to rot, when we look at esteemed presidential candidates belittling the Muslim identity as other than, when we look at members of our Latinx community being deported from their homes, when we see Native Americans being often completely forgotten, when so many groups of people are told they can't because of who they are, that I stand here before you today believing that the future looks bright because of all of you and the beautiful work that you are doing in this world. And for that, I am grateful. Thank you for this honor, for this opportunity, and for everything that you are doing so that our children, my generation's children, may live in a world where the future will look bright in any room.